Hey, what's good? Welcome to the Rank Realm, best show on YouTube. I'm Aces.
And I'm J72, and today we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft races. So grab your Hearthstone and hearth to your nearest inn, because it's time to talk about races. All right, everybody. So I don't know how much you guys play World of Warcraft, but it's been around for a very long time. And so I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, Al and I included, have some very heavy opinions on the races of World of Warcraft. And we might be a little shall we say, World of Warcraft racist today? We're not racist, but today we're forced to be a little bit as far as World of Warcraft fictional characters go. Um, I was looking at this list before we started, and I noticed it's all the playable races, exception of the Earthen that just came out in the newest release, although you can't technically get them yet as of this recording. But anyway, they're the newest playable races, so they're not on this list. But whoever made this list did add some random ones in here, like we've got Tuskar and Naga, so they'll be ranked. But all playable races will be ranked, as well as splitting up male and female, because they do have different models, obviously. So yeah, that's going to be the goal today. Al, do you want to tell the folks why we're a little bit different of a tier list with our rank tokens?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some very special things. As you guys can see, we have bronze tokens here, we have silver tokens, and we have gold tokens. Basically, our bronze tokens above and below our pictures are rank down tokens. Basically, if Jacob wants to make something A and I just cannot have it, then I'm going to bump that thing down to B, but it eats up my token. The silver tokens are rank up. They're the opposite. We can rank it up by one. And then our gold token, our rank realm token, is very special. It's a veto. I can do whatever I want with it. My choice. And
Yep. Absolutely
yeah.
anything. Yeah. We also, to make it a little bit more fun for you guys to watch, we'll occasionally be pulling up some cinematics of important characters that kind of, in their own way, represent their races. There's a few key moments of Warcraft history that I've got pulled up on my screen that we're going to check out throughout the video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But without further ado, Al, shall we dive into the first ranking?
I like it.
Yeah, let's do it. Looks like Naga, one of those unplayable races, is our first one, and this is a race that a lot of people want to play.
I would love to play as Naga.
Yeah, I think it's a big fan favorite. Shout out to Azeroth at War private server coming out that will have playable Naga. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I can talk for hours on private servers, but we won't do that here. Anyway, Nagas are cool. They are like old god influenced elves that used to be in, I forget what the city was. Najatar actually might be the city name. But anyway, they were they were converted and kind of cursed, and now they live their life under the sea. Under the sea.
You know what's really funny? So if you guys haven't watched it, first off, great video. You should go and watch it. It's our superpowers video. But in our superpowers video, there was we didn't, not giving too much away, we didn't rank underwater breathing that high. But it's really cool in WoW.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Where do you want to put it?
I like Naga, but they're not my favorite, but I don't dislike them. I think starting them in C, I think, is a good place to base the rest of the tier list around, honestly. Do you like them more?
I could do C. I was leaning B because I think they're really unique and cool characters, whereas we have some others that I won't name right now that are just kind of boring.
Yeah, there's some.
But you're right. Maybe it is.
I hate.
Yeah, maybe it is middle ground. I'm good with C.
Yeah, let's start with C. If we think later, we can move them around. Of course, if we both agree.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we will drop it into the C there. Next up, we have
the most played.
Elves.
We have the most played race in the game.
Really?
Did you know that? Did you know that fact? Yeah, female blood elves are the most played race gender combination in the game. Period.
You know, my character used to be a blood elf.
Yeah, it used to be a blood elf.
Yeah.
But you changed off of them. So what does that say?
No, I changed off because I was just tired of being a blood elf. They're kind of dicks.
They are assholes. Well, a lot of these races are kind of assholes. Actually, most elves are assholes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Most elves are prejudiced against other.
I mean, in general, elves tend to think that they're kind of hot shit. You know?
Yeah. I think speaking of hot shit, I think most people play this race because for the horde, they are the only ones that are quote hot, attractive.
Yeah.
They're obviously like humanoid and long flowy blonde hair that they could flip in the wind and stuff like that. It's definitely why people play them. As far as like the history of the Blood Elves, I think it's all right. Right, they're elves up in
I
Call of the
think it's
Lost.
pretty cool. They became
Yeah,
junkies.
they're kind of junkies around the Sunwell, which is another
Right.
big pool of arcane energy coming out of Azeroth or whatever that converted the trolls up there into the Blood Elves. And then the whole thing with the Scourge and Arthas kind of destroying like all of them or whatever. I like their story, and I like that they joined the Horde because even the Blood Elves, or because even the Night Elves were like, "Screw you guys," and so they were like, "What the heck?" And the Horde were like, "Hey, the Alliance hates all of us. You can come join us too." And so that's how they got into the Horde. I know people rank them very high, but I'm gonna be real. I don't like them that much when it comes to all the other Horde races. I would probably give them, and this is gonna. I know we're starting off strong with controversy here.
I
I would give
disagree.
them a C.
I wouldn't. I would
I
give
know.
them a B or an A.
I can let them go to B just because I know.
That's fine.
I know
I
how
think
many
they're
people
one of
like
the
them.
best races in the game. I really do. I like them a lot, and I like their
That's a
junky
strong
backstory.
statement.
But you know, I don't follow the crowd, man. I think the guys are A. I think the girls are B. I think the girls are too overplayed, man. You see them everywhere.
I have a female Blood Elf character, and it's only because I play Horde, and I made a Demon Hunter, and it forced me to be a Blood Elf, and so because of that, I did make a female Blood Elf.
Okay, well,
Uh,
where do you want to stick them?
I would rank, I'd rank them both B.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they're both
I'm good to put
B.
them there.
Yeah, you can have the male above the female. It's fine.
Well, that's only because Zobuo is a male.
Zobua. Yeah, true.
All right.
These are the
What,
Dark
Dark Iron,
Iron
right?
Dwarves,
Yeah.
hailing from Dark Iron Mountain, also known as Black Rock Mountain. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Their lore is pretty like deep when it comes to like the early Warcraft games, right? Like I think Warcraft 1 and 2, which
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
didn't
say the
play.
original Warcraft
Yeah,
games brought
I
him
didn't
up.
play original 1 or 2, but I am a little privy to the like what goes on during that. And yeah, they're all about being in the mountain, and I think they have something to do with Deathwing. I think they might have been the dwarves that brought Deathwing or brought Neltharion into Deathwing and made him
Huh? Really?
crazy. I think so. Can't really remember, but I know they're somehow related in that regard. Um,
I feel like they're subpar. Can you actually play them? Are they
you
playable
can play them.
characters?
Yep, you can play them.
Oh,
In
really?
BFA, they became a playable race. Yeah, and they're cool. They've got like their beards are like constantly on fire, and they've got
That's
glowy
right.
orange eyes.
It was the
They're
same
pretty
time
much
that
just
they
like
did the Zandalari Trolls, right?
yeah, same expansion,
Yeah, yeah.
more or less same time. Yeah, yeah. Zandalari Troll's counterpart is Kultirans. I think
Okay,
it
that's
was
right. It was. You're right.
Volpirin and Dark Iron or something like that.
Ah,
Anyway, it was the same general time frame. Um, yeah, I think they're cool. I mean, I don't think they're as cool as the normal dwarves, but they look cooler. So it's kind of hard to say where I would put them. What's your take?
I think that they're. I respect dwarves. I do
Yeah,
overall. And I think that they're just like kind of knockoff dwarfs. You know, I don't think they're as cool as normal dwarfs, and I think that they're closer to C
they're like the dwarves that
or
are
maybe a
trying really
D.
hard to be cool.
Yeah,
I try it even harder.
like I think they do look cooler, but I don't like them as much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking C or D personally. What do you think?
I think C for both of them. I've got
Okay,
no difference
I
in,
could
in
drop
male or
them into
female.
C.
Yeah, they're chilling. Should C tier be chilling tier?
I like it.
They're chilling. Yeah, all right. If you play one of those or you like them, that's chilling. All right. Next up, we have Draenei. I like the Draenei. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like I said, I do play Horde pretty much primarily, but I do play Alliance just to get both sides of the game. And way back when in Burning Crusade, I did make a male Draenei Paladin, and I'm not the biggest fan of Paladins, but if you are to put yourself in the mindset of a Paladin, I think a male Draenei is like the quintessential Paladin. We can even pull up here that there's that intro to Burning Crusade.
Oh,
You
okay.
see, oh wait, I already have it. Burning Crusade, it's cinematic theater mode. Where is it? It's the This guy. This is what I think of when I think of Draenei. 100%.
100%, yeah.
Like this
No, I'm with
is
you.
the Draenei. If you play Draenei, you gotta be doing, in my opinion, you gotta be
Everybody
doing.
wishes they could be that guy.
Yeah, you gotta be playing something that relates to the light, either a priest or a paladin. Everything else doesn't make as much sense to me. But yeah, they're all right. I do
What
know
is
that
that?
the female Draenei is played a lot in the shall we say, the role playing community. People like their goat women for some reason, especially on the alliance side. But I don't
Is that
think
what
they're. I
Draenei
think
are? Goats?
they're goats. Yeah, they're space
Huh.
goats. Yeah,
Space
space
goats.
goats. Space goats. Yeah.
Space goats, ghost. I like it.
Yeah. I would probably rank. This is just me personally. I would probably put male Draenei at B, and the females are chilling. I think the females are a little. Their walking animation, both of them look kind of funny. But the female walking animation is the only reason that I would give it
It looks
a little,
weird.
it just looks a little weirder. Yeah.
So it look like goat like hips.
They're like bouncy and I don't know, it's
Hmm.
it's odd.
Okay.
It doesn't look proper in my opinion, yeah. Let's skip ahead to
Okay.
the Lightforged Draenei while we talk about Draenei because they're basically the exact same. Keep going. They're right next to humans.
Oh, right
Yeah,
here.
those guys. Those guys. These came out, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
who
rank
are
them
these
way
guys? I don't
lower.
even know them.
So in Legion, when we go to Argus
Yeah.
and we help defeat the Burning Crusade and
Right.
Sargeras or whatever, there is a subsect of Draenei's that basically were with Corallian and Illyria Windrunner, and basically they are like infused with the light. So they're kind of cool on a idea basis, right? But to me, they're just, hey, we took Draenei and then we just, it's kind of like the dwarfs, right? With the Dark Iron dwarfs. It's like, here's a Draenei and now we're gonna make them try a little harder, right?
How
And
did you
so
unlock them? Is it one of the ones where you need exalted or whatever, that type of thing?
I don't remember.
Because
I
I
don't
wouldn't mind
yeah.
unlocking them. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't really play Alliance. I do have them unlocked, but only because as of today, you can unlock everything without like any restrictions. It's
Oh,
like really
really?
easy. Yeah, it's like really easy to get
That
everything
sucks.
today. Yeah, right. I thought the
Like, I
same.
worked hard to get Zandalari
I
trolls.
know they've taken out so many restrictions at retail just to be like, oh, we want everyone to play, and it's like, well, yeah, but there's value in working for something, and when you see like a fully leveled up like Zandalari troll, you're like, wow, that guy
Yeah,
played
like
it,
that.
he unlocked it, and he
Dude, like
put
when
time
we
in it.
worked so hard to get those fell wolves, dude,
Yeah,
that felt good. You know,
right.
like that's one of the
Yeah.
best parts about WoW.
That's one of the best part about MMOs. I agree. Is
Mhm.
is working hard and being rewarded and showing it off to other players, and other players see that and they get envious and they're like, "Wow, I want that," and then they go do it. So yeah, so they're all right. They're cool, but I think they're under normal Draenei simply because them as a playable race seems silly to me. And how are you going to play a Lightforce Draenei that's a hunter? You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird race combination that you like even more than Draenei, you have to play Paladin or Priest, in my opinion. Like if you're doing
But
anything else that isn't doing the light, it's like then why are you light forged?
here's the thing, though. But look how cool they look.
Sure. I'll tell you what, you could put them at B and C, but I don't think they're any cooler than normal Draenei.
I think
Sure.
he
Yeah,
think he's the less cool looking one.
yeah, we can appease the fans that way.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, what else do we got?
Got the dwarfs.
Okay,
They've got to keep the boots on the ground. I love the dwarfs. I'll just say it.
I heard something about dwarfs today. So I was watching the Rings of Power, and
Okay.
without giving away any spoilers, basically there was just kind of a one line that made me chuckle. That talks about how some people in the world think that dwarfs are just made out of a black hole because the dwarf men and dwarf women look exactly the same. So the world started believing that there are no dwarf women.
That's funny. That's funny. You know what I think of when I think of dwarfs? And I think a lot of people are going to think of this. Cut to my screen here.
Yep.
This is the epitome of World of Warcraft. Music and everything. I'll be real, the first character I ever made, I didn't play him very much, but my young brain was like, I want to play this. I made a dwarf hunter. to be this guy.
It's funny how many people start with the hunter at the beginning. I start with a night elf hunter.
Yeah. I mean, I still play Hunter. Hunter's my main, but I've gone through a lot of iterations, and
Yeah.
I
I
won't
really like
reveal
mage now, man. I really
what
do.
race I am, but yeah, I mean, this dwarf is literally the first character anybody ever saw in World of Warcraft.
Really?
Period. Yeah, well, in World of Warcraft, right? Obviously, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 were already out, but
Yeah.
this is
Oh, this was
this is
the
the
first
trailer.
trailer.
This is the trailer for Classic, and he is the first thing you see besides the showing off the map and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah, so as a Horde player, I just want to say I think this is the best race in the Alliance. I would give dwarfs male.
Well, hang on. You're forgetting about pandas.
I am very much not forgetting about pandas. I think this dwarf is S tier. I think the male is S tier, and I think the female model isn't quite as
I don't think the female holds up in WoW.
No, I don't think it's as great or whatever. I'd probably give the female B. Yeah,
That's what I was
they're
thinking.
still a dwarf,
Still pretty
but
cool, but
it's not as iconic as the male dwarf. That you get to be Gimli,
no,
you get to be this guy.
I agree completely. Speaking of Gimli, I'm almost through Lord of the Rings again.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, extended version. I'm on Return of the King.
That's not okay. You need to be finishing My Hero Academia so we can talk about it.
I only got like 1.5 more seasons. I'll get on it.
Okay.
Wait till I go back to work so they can pay me and I can watch it.
Yeah. Well, you know what I say about that? Time is money, pal. It's goblin time.
All right. These goblin, they look weird here.
Those are the current Cataclysm rework goblin models. So those aren't the one you might be used to in Turtle WoW, which is the classic model. Yeah, classic, BC, and Wrath have a different model, which a lot of people kind of have a fond passion for. They're a little bit skinnier and lankier. And the Cataclysm reworks made specifically the male model, his head's huge, which I've always thought was a little weird looking.
Big brains, dude, for all those operations to make money.
Yeah, they got smarter over the expansions or something. I love goblins. I know you love goblins too.
They're one of my favorite races.
They're so funny. I like that in World of Warcraft they're humorous. They're a counterpart to the gnomes. I do like that they were neutral. But I also like the reason that they joined the Horde. Because since I'm such a Horde fanboy, and the main reason I like Horde is because most of the races of the Alliance are jerks. And that's like the main reason the Horde exists today, right? The Horde originally, when they came to Azeroth, they were a problem, right? But that's the Orcish Horde, right? Not the new Horde or Thrall's Horde, which is based off the foundations of Thrall, Cairn, and well, mainly just those two. Oh, and Sen'jin, right? Those three guys were like the perfect mindset for honor, band together to survive, right? Like that's the main motto of the Horde. And the goblins joined because as they were literally refugees escaping from their island of Kazan when Deathwing flew over and made it explode. So their volcano goes off. The survivors, which there are not many of, get into a boat and they're sailing away. And the Alliance sees them and shoots them because they think they're a Horde warship. And so the survivors were like, okay, well, we're not going to join the Alliance. They're assholes. They shot us out of for no reason, unprovoked.
Yeah.
So they joined the Horde.
Fair enough.
Just like the Blood Elves, kind of. They're like, no, we don't want to join them, so we're going to join the Horde.
Yeah, if you're not normal, the Alliance doesn't like you.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're not human or elf, and even the elves don't really like the humans, they tolerate.
Yeah, none of them get along.
they pretend, just a facade.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think goblins are S tier. I really do.
I think the male is S tier, and I would put the female in probably A, only because we don't see as many. Oh, I guess there's not really any difference. They're funny too. Yeah, put them both.
Yeah, I think they're both funny. They're both good characters.
Both have good models too. Yeah. Now, on the other side of the equation, go ahead and talk about gnomes.
Okay.
Before I put them where you just assumed.
Nobody likes gnomes. If you're a gnome,
not nobody.
If you're a gnome player, I don't know, unsubscribe.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Out of the game.
No, I don't like gnomes, man. Gnomes just feel like if you were to like put a happy filter on the goblins, it really does. Like they're still gonna make stuff. They're great. They're inventors. But like we're just gonna smile and make like pretty stuff for La La Land for a PG-13 game or something.
Yeah, I don't think their humor hits the same as goblins.
It doesn't.
Right? Goblins explode, and you're like, ah, like, that's funny. Gnomes explode, and you're like, you idiot.
Yeah.
you know. I'll be real. I don't. I How do I say this? I love to hate on the gnomes. When you play Horde, it's so easy just to like throw in chat, just to be like, "How far you guys think you could kick a gnome?" Right? And people go, "Ha, that's so funny," right? Or you're just like, "Ew, gnomes" or whatever, and just like, I guess it's an excuse to be Warcraft racist, right?
There's a lot of
um,
that in Warcraft.
there's a lot of that in Warcraft, yeah. Um, but overall, I genuinely don't like them. I don't know if I would put them F. I'll be real, because coming up there are types of gnomes that I think are a lot cooler than basic gnomes, and there are also a few races that I do think are worse than gnomes overall, for different reasons. But I'm putting them E, dude.
Uh,
Gnomes suck.
I I want to put the female gnome in D.
Okay.
I think she's better than the male.
The pigtails do give her a little bit more flair. The pink pigtails everybody
Mm-hmm.
always picks. That's
Yep,
even
everybody
in
picks
the
it.
picture. Mm-hmm.
Yep, they picked that one specifically. All right.
Yep.
Who are these? Morven or something? Morgan?
I don't know. I just yawned. They're so boring. Those are humans, man.
Those are humans? This guy
Yep.
looks like he's dead.
Yep. Yeah. Humans are boring. Look, I understand picking a human if you really want to have like that RP vibe, right? And I want to play myself in the world. But with all these cool races and the backstories behind all of them, I just find it such a boring, simple
And let's
play,
be
you
real,
know?
if you're going to choose a human, you're probably just going to hang out in that inn at the very beginning for
Yeah,
a while.
Goldshire.
In Goldshire.
Well, I don't know. If you're hanging out in Goldshire, you might be that female Draenei Lightforge.
Sure.
That's kind of taking over the scene. Uh, Look, jokes aside, with humans being kind of a boring pick, I do genuinely believe that they're boring. But even their history is also kind of like, meh, right? Like, sure, they've got the cool story with Arthas, but that's mainly interesting because of Arthas, right? Like the history behind Stormwind and Lordaeron and all of that. They're Vicruels, right? Which we actually have on this list later. That were hit with the curse of flesh. Or sorry, Vicruels were hit with the curse of flesh that became fleshy, and then over time, I don't want to say evolved. They devolved into shorter, weaker humans. And
Hmm.
so the human race in World of Warcraft is kind of pathetic in a way. But they represent like humanity banding together in a world of chaos. And so like there's aspects of the humans that I understand why people would like them, but I just think generally speaking, kind of boring.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know?
even know if I want to put him in chillin'.
No,
They're not average. They're like D or
I
E.
would say
I don't think
I
they're
would say they're
F,
I
but
would say they're both D. Maybe put the male in chillin' because he's got the funny dance. Maybe.
all
That's
right,
your call.
we can do it. No, I don't like it. I'll just put him above. Drag her down.
Yeah, they're all right. They're all right.
Yeah, they're kind of boring, man.
Yeah, they're super boring.
All right.
Yeah. Ah, an illusion. What are you hiding? These are the Nightborns, straight out of Suramar from the Legion expansion.
Was it Legion that did that? I was thinking it was BFA.
Hmm?
It was
Nope.
Legion.
Yep, Legion expansion. These guys are assholes.
Oh yeah,
probably
100%.
probably even more than the other elves. They're uptight, they're know-it-alls, they're jerks, they're studious to a fault. And I kind of love them because of that. I'm not gonna lie. I play a Nightborn. My mage is a Nightborn. I have one of
Hmm.
almost all these races, to be honest. But my Nightborn is a mage, and he's an arcane mage, and it just feels right, to play a Nightborn mage, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can
And
see
it's,
that. An arcane mage is by far the most fun mage. Let's be real.
yep,
In
yeah, that's
retail.
Al. That's Al's chosen main, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, I was a hunter for years, man. It's fun, but like, dude, I got hooked on that arcane mage.
Hmm.
It's so much
Hmm.
fun.
I don't blame you. That's the spec I play too. It's
Yeah,
great. It's actually really good in this new expansion, by the way.
cool. I might
Yeah,
might pick it up.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Another funny thing about the Nightborn is when you're unlocking them through the quest line, you get to see the Night Elves approach the Suramarian Nightborn elves, and the Nightborns are basically like, "Hey, we heard about your alliance. We would like to join." And guess what the Night Elves say? Just like the Blood Elves, they go,
Gross.
"Nope,
No way.
screw you." And then they walk away, and then you see the leaders of the Blood Elves walk up to the Nightborn and basically go, "Hey, bro, same shit happened to us. You want to join the Horde?" And the Nightborn go, "Yeah, screw the Alliance." And so that's literally why the Nightborn are in the Horde, is because the Alliance are jerks. So if you guys
They
are
are.
keeping track, Blood Elf, Goblins, and Nightborn, which are literally the only three races we've talked about in the Horde so far, all joined because the Alliance are jerks. For the Horde.
On that note, you don't have to do that story anymore to unlock them, right?
I don't think so. No,
It's
there's just
gone.
like one. There's like one quick. I mean, maybe the Nightborn. I don't know. I
Yeah.
unlocked them when they were current. So.
Well, where do you want to put it?
They're funny. They're jerks. I don't know if they're A tier, but probably B.
You
I'd
really
give them
think they're
both
that
B.
high?
I like them. But if you think they're a bit lamer, I'm not hating on
I
C,
think they're
but
kind of boring. Yeah, I could
okay.
do C.
I think I really enjoyed the Suramar zone and the whole Legion expansion, so that's probably
Yeah, Legion was
I'll put them
great,
up
man. It was a
in
good
my
time.
brain. Yeah, they're alright, I suppose.
All right, next up,
Oh god. The
my
assholes we've been talking about.
my first ever race.
Yeah, I did play a Night Elf. Young me liked Night Elves, but here's the thing: young me didn't know the lore.
Yeah, fair enough. I also didn't play until Burning Crusade. I didn't play when
Yeah,
it first came out.
I think about this when I think Night Elves too. Is goes back to yeah. Look at this. Right after we see the dwarf,
Yeah.
the second character anybody ever saw for World of Warcraft is the classic Night Elf Druid. And this I think stuck in a lot of people's brains because being a cool elf running through the forest and being in tune with the forest, I get it. I play hunter, and we'll get to why I think my race is better for hunter than a night elf hunter.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had seen this, I might not have chosen Night Elf to begin with.
Really?
I don't
Why's
like
that?
it. I think it looks stupid. Wait, what's this
Yeah,
one?
well, we'll get there. We'll get
All
there.
right, all right.
Look, man, I get why people play them, but overall, they're jerks. They're one of the most racist races in the entire like universe of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and I feel bad that their tree got burned because Safana shouldn't have done that. But at the same point, I don't feel as bad as maybe I should because they're kind
I
of jerks.
I feel very bad because it feels like hitting when that happened because it feels even if they are jerks, it feels like just hitting a core spiritual part of the world,
Yeah,
not
no,
just
sure.
them.
I'm with Sourfang on that entire
Yeah, it
expansion.
should not have
Um,
happened.
Yeah, we almost guys did a tier list on lore characters, and spoiler, if we do it in the future, I would have ranked Sourfang, Varrock Sourfang S tier,
100%.
just because he represents the Horde and everything he says during that expansion. In fact, that moment we're talking about where Sylvana says, "Fire the cannons" or whatever she says, she yells, "Burn it," and they burn it. Varrock goes up to her and he says, "They will come for us. They will come for all of us because of this." And he's true. The Alliance was pissed that they burnt the world tree. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Where do you want to put them?
I want to rank them low, man. They're down with gnomes, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I don't like night elves.
They
Uh,
are probably my second favorite alliance. I like them, man.
here would
I like the spiritualness behind them. I like that they're with nature. I like the tree. I like that they have their own little fucking island. Like,
they used to.
well, yeah. I don't know. Like,
Where would you put them?
if they're D, then orcs have to be E in a second, because like they're better
Oh,
than orcs.
oh, we'll get to that
I
when we
I
get to
was
that.
thinking like B tier. I think they're pretty good.
B tier, huh?
Where do you want to put them?
Let's put females in B, but males go in D.
All right, and I'm gonna use my my silver token.
And you ranking it up. Fair. By the way, guys, when one of us uses our rank up token, we cannot argue. We can't counterpick. I could use mine to go down, but we'll wait on that to see if I need to do that. All right, so you don't like orcs, huh?
I don't. I think orcs are very boring. I think they are the equivalent of humans, and I think they deserve D tier.
Can I offer a counter argument?
Thrall's cool. There's cool orcs. What about
Where's-
Antoine? Antoine's a cool
where's
human.
the-
I'm just saying. You know?
Where's the thing I pulled up? Can I show you this?
Yeah. What's up?
Come on, get to it, game. This is probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest cinematic scene.
It is. And look, there's a human.
In like all, yeah, but that's fucking Anduin.
Yeah, so?
It's Anduin.
Yeah, so there's also one or two cool orcs. That's my point.
I'm saying Anduin isn't that cool. Oh, he's getting cooler.
Oh, well, hold on. I really like him.
He's got the Ahsoka vibe. If we were gonna do characters, I was gonna mention how he's kind of like Ahsoka, where like in the beginning he's kind of a baby, he's kind of lame, you don't really kind of crybaby, but he is coming into his own character, and his development is actually making him pretty interesting. He's huge in this next expansion, Al.
Yeah.
He's like kind of like the main character. It feels like an Alliance expansion. Anyway, the main reason I want to bring this up is Mak'gora is so cool. I don't love the orcs. Cool. I think the orcs are kind of like a human pick for the horde. They're basic.
They
right?
are very basic, very boring.
A little boring, but I think they're cooler than humans.
I don't think so.
Really?
Not at all. I think they're both the basic character. It's just one is supposed to be like the beast, and one is supposed to be the humanoid. You know?
Yeah.
They're both the basic character. Nothing special about them. They their general story is the same as every other fantasy thing like ever, where
they're just brutal.
The two of them are just fighting. Yeah, the orcs are yelling and tearing down trees, and the humans are fighting the orcs.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I'd be okay with letting them go in both D though. They got to be equal to humans in that case.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking D.
Yeah, they can go D.
I mean, they'll be above the gnomes, so don't worry.
And I'm agreeing as a whole. Hold on, put the females at E actually, because the female models are painful to look at. No, not the female humans. Female dwarves. Female humans can stay up in D.
Oh, you want to bring the dwarfs down to E? You using your token?
No. You moved female humans down. The female humans can stay at E. I was saying female orcs have a terrible model in game.
Oh, they're really tiny.
They're awkward.
Oh, there's the boy.
Yep, there's Anduin. I love this whole Varrock Seraphim.
There were so many good cutscenes.
Yeah, it was so fantastic. You and I actually did this live together. I remember.
I remember.
We watched this together, and we both went "What?" at the moment where spoiler, Sourfang gets absolutely decimated by Sylvanas. All right, well, we can keep watching this because it's awesome. But
we have to move on. If y'all want to watch it, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, next up we have the pandas. Panda.
Blech!
Panda.
I don't like the pandas.
Me neither. I think they're F tier.
I think their model. I think we can put the male panda in F tier because their model is. It's just goofy, and it's like. Oh,
you think the male is a better looking one than female?
No, I think the female models look better than the male.
That's what I'm saying. I disagree.
I don't think by much, but I mean, if you want to drop both in F, that's fine. I don't know. There's aspects of the pandas that are fine, and I'm actually a defender of pandas being in the game. They could have made them look cooler. They bounce around, and it's like that. How do you bounce around all that fat? Like they should have been sluggish or whatever.
Fat bounces. Have you ever watched Kung Fu Panda?
Not as fast as. Yeah, that was unfortunate timing. So that's what I'm saying is I'm actually a defender of putting pandas in the game because Chen Stormstout was in Warcraft 3 along with Rexar, and Rexar is one of my favorite characters, if not my top 3 favorite characters. And so that whole storyline with him and Chen and Thrall is really cool. And so pandas, the Brewmaster Panda is not a new thing to Warcraft. So having a whole expansion of going to their homeland did make sense to me, but the timing was bad because of Kung Fu Panda, and so it kind of just became a joke, unfortunately, for the pandas. But the main reason I'm putting them at F tier is their model, and I think a lot of people agree with me. Their models they look fine in Panda Land, in Pandaria, when they're farming and they're being zen or whatever. But you take them out, like seeing a panda walk around Dragon Isles is weird. They look so out of place, which is saying something with all these weird looking races in the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up are a couple that I know that you really like. Let's start with the Taurens.
The Tauren. Let's go back to that original cinematic because we have the moment that a lot of Tauren players. Wait, where is it? Please hold. Is this the short one? I got the short trailer. Anyway,
It,
yeah, the Taurens. I really like the
I think
Taurens.
the Taurens are A tier, personally. I
They're
don't think
gentle
they're S,
giants.
but they are really cool.
I would actually agree with you. So we
Yeah,
can immediately put both of them in A tier. Yeah, they're gentle giants. They're the core message of the Horde, in my opinion. I think all the other races. I think the Taurens hold the Horde accountable along with
yeah, for
the
what
next
they, yeah,
race.
yep,
Yep.
I
And
agree.
without the Taurens and the trolls, the Horde would be that savage, just orcish horde that caused so many problems for the
I agree.
Alliance and the people of Azeroth off the get go.
I agree 100%. And you brought up
Yeah.
the trolls. I think that it's the same thing. They're an amazing race. And
Hmm.
that just their background is so cool. And dude, how cool just everything with Bonswandi and what was that, Legion?
Yeah.
That was BFA, right?
Bomswandi. Legion. I mean,
Was it
Bomswandi's
Legion?
been around a lot, but BFA
I know,
was
but when
was
you went really deep into it, that was Legion, right?
that was BFA.
It was BFA,
He
okay.
kind of started to show
Yeah,
up
you're right,
in
because we have the
Legion.
Zandalari trolls.
Yep, yep. And fun fact, guys, I play a troll. They're my favorite race. So I agree with Al that both of them should be A because the Darkspear trolls specifically is what we have to rate. Um, they're great, but they have struggled a lot. And going into more specifics, I think the way that the in-game lore has treated Darkspear trolls isn't as good as it could be. They're kind of used as like background characters
I
and
agree.
only a given side note, and they
Well, you got some
absolutely
crazy leaders.
butchered my favorite character, Vol'jin.
Yeah.
Absolutely ruined his
Well, you
storyline.
got Senjin, you got Vol'jin. Yeah, you're right. It was
Yep.
butchered, but like still great characters.
Yeah. That said, Al, I can't let my boy Nandi not be S tier. So I'm going to use my rank up token to move the male up to S tier. But
All right.
fair note. I do think A is a fair ranking.
I'll move it
But
all the way up because you use
there
your
we
token. I
go.
think it's only fair.
Yeah, man. That be the spot. Yeah, I love trolls. And I also really like their backstory of how they, when the sundering happened, scattered them all around the world, and that's why we have forest trolls and frost trolls and jungle trolls, which the Darkspear are. And so it's really cool that all the different trolls kind of have their own uh, culture, right?
Yeah.
Zandalari trolls as well, which we will get to down the line. Um, and the Darkspear are they're battered, they're hurt, but they've still held on to their honor, right? Like the Tauren, and so it's awesome. Yeah, really like
You
them.
see what we got next?
Oh god, I feel like a lot of people would put this S tier. We got Tuskar.
I think they're great.
I think everybody likes Tuskar.
If you don't
Tuskar,
like it, like, oh.
yeah, Tuskar are just fun, man.
Yeah, realistically, I don't think it should be S, but I'm down to put it
No,
in A.
I'm down to put it A too. Honestly, they're
Yeah, I mean,
funny. They're great. They're one of the most highly requested playable races in the game,
yep,
alongside like Murlocs and Naga.
yep.
Yeah, I got nothing really bad to say about
Yeah,
the
I was gonna say
Tuskar.
there's not much to say about it other than I think it deserves A. It's a great
Yeah,
race.
fishing with a Tuskar is a good afternoon. You know, you'd have a good time.
All right, next up we have one of my favorites.
Yeah, you want to show my screen again?
Yeah.
Because this is quintessential undead. Just death, decay, destruction,
Oh, that's a cool symbol.
grime, grit, nasty. This one specifically is a warlock.
Yeah.
It's just metal, dude.
That's cool.
Oh, here's the scene I was talking about with the Tauren. I just missed it. Yeah, this scene with the music.
Looking over the Great Valley
They're
and
peaceful.
Littlefoot.
They're cows and they're spiritual. Yeah, I vibe out with the Tauren. Undeads though, I really like the undeads, and I know you do too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of undead. They're yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, when I play an undead, that is my way to play a human in World of Warcraft. But my human was cursed with the curse of undeath.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was gonna
so
say. Is they have a pretty cool background. I like it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I also
some
play.
races have a really boring one, but like they have a full thing.
Yeah, and when we get to it a little bit later down the list, I also play a worgen, and that's another way to play
Yeah,
a human, but be a little bit more interesting and not yawning boring.
yeah,
You know
not
what I mean?
boring.
Yeah. Undead are sick. I play an
Yeah,
undead priest, and I really like the idea because in lore, all holy magic hurts undead flesh, and so my priest has like this most tragic backstory, right? He lived in Lordaeron, and then he died, and then he was rezzed in undeath, but he still chose to be a priest like he was in life. And even though he hurts himself, he still just wants to heal people around him. And so he's like constantly like burning his own flesh to heal people. And I just think like along with the metal aspect of undead, it takes that other cool like angle to it. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. For starters, I think that the female is better than the male, and I have two rules when it comes to undead. Number one, I'm always gonna choose the female character, always.
They do flips.
And, true.
It's
And
just
number
spoiler.
two, I'm always gonna choose the Marge hair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That
That's
being
fair.
said, I want to. We could put male a little lower if you want, but I want to. I mean, I'm gonna put female very high. What do you want to put it?
I want female at S and male at A. I think they're
Okay,
one of the most
I'm
interesting, best races in the
I am
entire
good
game.
with that.
Yeah,
I am a-okay good with that.
yeah. They do the horror vibe very well. They have a little hint of Warcraft humor, right, where they're like falling apart or whatever, and they're like, "Ah, dang it!" Like pop their arm back in or something like that. They're great. Can't go wrong with an undead.
Cool. All right. What the hell
What you
is
can go
this?
wrong with though, those are void elves. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, void elves. Their story is at the end of BFA or Shadowlands. I forget where it was
It had
when
to be
they joined.
Shadowlands because I played BFA. I skipped Shadowlands.
Yeah, it might have been Shadowlands. Illyria Windrunner, the sister to Sylvanas Windrunner. And her story is that uh she got lost in Outlands for 10,000 years. But she was blessed with the light or whatever alongside Turalian, which helped them live long enough. And then she ended up kind of going down into the void route, and she's actually a very main character in this current expansion. So you learn a lot about her when you play
Okay.
this current expansion. It's her and the whole expansion is pretty much her and Anduin, which is fine. But as a horde player, it's like, bro, where's any horde? Anyway, um, she became like very powerful in the void, and she was able to control it, right? She's like the ideal I use the bad guys power against them for good kind of style. And under her tutelage, if you will, she was able to help a bunch of elves become more in tune with the void. There was a bunch of elves, I don't know their backstory perfectly, but I think there was a bunch of elves that were lost also in the void, and she was able to like find them essentially. And then help train them to harvest the void. But they became a playable race, and kind of like the Lightforged Draenei, when they became a playable race, I was kind of like, is this really necessary? I thought they were a
Right.
cool aspect of the lore, but to make them a playable race, like in lore, there's only like less than 200 void elves, right? They're supposed to be a very small subsect of people. So to make them a
Okay.
playable race is like
Seems
like
like a stretch.
yeah, it's like, bro, there's gonna be more playable races than you like. You're gonna see void elves way more than you should. They should be a very small population.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird in that regard. But reality is they were added to the alliance so that the alliance could get blood elf models, because blood elf models are the most played race in the game. That's
Uh
that's the general take the population have of why they were added. So they're played a lot now on the alliance side. And they're only alliance because Illyria's alliance. And Illyria's only alliance because she was gone when the Blood Elves joined the Horde, and she came back, and she's like, "But I've been fighting for the alliance forever." So it's messy, right? I don't love the lore around them.
right.
Um, where I would rank them though,
Yeah, where do you
I
want
don't
to put
know,
them?
man.
I don't
D
have an
or
opinion on this
D,
one.
D or E maybe. You could put the female at D, male at E.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. They're just
Yeah.
they're just whatever.
What
All
is
right, next
this?
up, that is the Vrykul. So I don't know why they put them on this tier list. Why do we have Vrykul on the tier list, but we don't have Murlocs? I don't know.
The
But
Vicro, are those the giants from Legion?
yeah. So those are what
Okay, yeah,
the human ancestors were. Humans
yeah. Okay.
started as Vrykul and then they devolved to humans, which is what I like to say. Also, I didn't mention this in Night Elves, but Night Elves are devolved trolls, and you can't convince me that they're evolved trolls because they just became assholes. So I always say that when people say like, "Oh, elves are just evolved trolls." No, 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 no. They devolved. They got worse. And Vrykul are the pre-devolution of humans. Um, and they're fine. I don't know. I don't. They're Viking kind of style. You see a
Yeah.
lot of them in Stormheim back in Legion with Odin. Um, I don't. I don't really have a strong opinion on them. They're chilling, I suppose.
All right, yeah, I can dump them right in the middle. Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah,
special about them.
no, fine.
Next up is your favorite race.
I wouldn't say favorite race. I do have one, but only because they were new, and I was like, oh, a race change. And I already had 3 undead, so I race changed my undead warlock with the Marge hair to a Vulpyrian. And I'm
That's a
not gonna
shame.
lie, my Vulpyrian warlock is on my chopping block for race changing to another cooler race down the line.
Race change back to undead, where she belongs.
Well, I'm trying to get all the races. I already have 2 undeads, so
Yeah, fair enough.
that's more than I
But
have
where do you
of
want to
both.
stick them? Because
Look,
they kind of suck.
I think they're fine. I don't like the stupid llama song that brings them down for sure. I don't think they're F tier. They're not worse than gnomes. If anything, put them next to
I feel like they're
gnomes.
with pandas. All right.
I don't know. I don't think they're that bad, but they're look. The only thing that when I see them, I understand why people are like, these are stupid. Why are
They
they
are
race?
stupid.
Why are in the horde of all things? Right?
Yeah,
They
we
should
don't want
probably.
them.
They're kind of like nicer, so maybe like the alliance would have accepted them. But anyway,
No, the
the
Alliance
only
probably would
reason,
try to eat them.
yeah, yeah, maybe like ooh, fox, fox meat. The only thing that redeems them is I think Ratchet and Clank when I play them,
Yeah, you said that
and
before, and I
yeah,
just.
that's just the only reason I bring that up is that takes them out of F tier. They're okay because
Does
you
it
can
though?
think you're like Ratchet and Clank.
All right.
They're fine. They have cool racials. I'll give them that. They can put up a little tent, and the tent, and you can teleport back to the tent. So you essentially have a Hearthstone that you can put anywhere on the map, and
I
that's
think.
cool.
I think I'm gonna use my bronze.
Are you gonna knock them down? Knock the male down?
Yeah, I'll take one down. Makes me
All
feel
right.
better.
Why don't you take the female since they're both an E? Because I think the female model is
Because I don't
not
want to do
ratchet.
that.
Okay,
I mean,
you do whatever
I'll
you do
swap
whatever
the
you want.
I'll swap these two if you want, but one's going in F, man.
All right. Yeah, that's fine with me. Even though I play the female, well, only because Undeafen was female.
All right,
My
what do we got
mage.
next? What is that? Worgans?
Organs. Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier, this is another way I play humans without playing humans.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I like Worgans. I think they're pretty
Worgans are
sick.
interesting.
Yeah.
They're a race that I'm glad that they have.
Yeah. I mean, werewolves versus vampires.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm always team werewolf over team vampire.
Team Vampire
Um,
is usually pretty bitchin' though. Just saying.
yeah, no, I mean they're both cool. Don't get me wrong. But I like werewolves a little bit more, and so the fact that it's like a curse in Warcraft, and if you didn't know this, Al, the Worgen curse actually started from Night Elves that were doing druidic magic, and they took on the form of a wolf. But the wolf form was so filled with bloodlust and rage that they banned it. They said you cannot practice being wolves, right? And I don't remember exactly how it happened, but eventually some people did practice it, and it actually became a curse somehow.
Hmm.
And then that curse spread to the humans of Gilneas who were being taught how to be druids, and some of those decided to be wolves. And yeah, again, I don't know exactly or remember exactly how it became like a curse that spread like Worgen plague. But that is essentially like how that came about, was a banned druid form, which is kind of cool.
All right. Well, where do you want to put them? I
I
think they're
like
like
them.
B.
I like them. I'm happy with B. They're my second favorite race in the alliance.
Okay,
So
behind
I would,
behind the gnomes. I mean,
yeah,
behind the dwarves.
the dwarves, yeah, not the gnomes. A or B, honestly, I do really like them. Maybe male in A, female in B. I think the female model's a little weird. They're a little too slender.
Okay.
But the male models do look good, but the males do look kind of lanky when they walk. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, they look
Ne-
good in combat though. Like good in armor.
Next up, by the way, you still have both your rank down and your rank realm token.
Yeah, I'm thinking about them. I've agreed with most of this list, which is why I haven't needed to use them.
Next up is the Zandalari Trolls. I don't remember
The
what we had to do for that,
Zandalari.
but it was stuff in all three zones. You had to like complete all three zones, and like you had to get special
Yeah.
achievements. It was a lot to unlock the
You
Zandalaris.
pretty much had to play all of BFA to get them.
Yes, and more. Like
Yeah,
you had to do
and
like
extra.
everything. It was a
I think you
lot.
needed Exalted as well.
Yeah, in like all three of the factions.
Yeah. But now you just fucking click I want them and do a quest line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
love Zandalaris.
they're
They're
cool.
great. They're trolls, so you know I love the trolls. And these are the pride. Just they took the like, how prideful do you want this race? And they slid that meter all the way to 100%. Right? Like, these are the most prideful race probably in the entire game, and they deserve it in my opinion. The Zandalari Empire, back when before the Sundering happened, they were the leaders of all the trolls. Like, they were the supreme empire of the
Yeah.
trolls, and they're badass. They're great, and they like dinosaurs. And if you guys know me from my J72 gaming channel, I love myself some dinosaurs, and so they're great. Straight up S tier, dude. These guys are great.
Yeah, I think they're amazing. I'm glad that you decided to put them in S tier. I was about to use my
Yeah.
veto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are truly amazing. Straight up.
Yeah. Both models too. The male and female look good. See, the female isn't too slender. It's like a believable proportion size, where some of the other female models just look kind of wonky. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All
Happy with
right,
that.
before we get into dragons, let's knock out a few more of these. Save the dragons for last. So we'll just
Sure.
kind of bump that down. We'll talk about each one.
Sure.
But right here.
The high mountain Taurens.
Yeah.
Taurens with antlers.
With antlers.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Fair enough. All right.
That's literally it. There's not too much difference. They come from high mountain instead of Mulgore,
Right.
and they have antlers, but they have almost the exact same respect for nature, and they're spiritual, and they
Okay.
use giant totem buildings.
They're slightly darker.
They are, well, only in those pictures. That's just the skin color you chose. You can have a black Tauren.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. They're the same. A tier.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no difference in my
I
opinion.
don't know if I can put them in A tier.
B tier then.
That's fine. The reason I want to put them down is that they weren't there for all the key moments that the Tauren fought for the Horde.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What were
they're
they
not
doing
as
that was so
used.
busy?
Well, that whole island was like undiscovered and hidden, kind of like Pandaria.
Yeah,
Until
I
we like
guess.
discovered it. So,
I guess fair enough.
but I guess that's it. They weren't going out and exploring. So,
Right. What are these? They look like humans.
Those are Coltirans.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that's
Yeah.
why they look like humans.
Yeah. So my take on Coltirans is I like their story so much more than I like their in-game models. Their in-game models are.
Well, who's their big bad? Who's their not big bad, but what's her name?
Dana.
Yeah. People
Yeah, so
love
the
Dana, man. In that one
Yeah.
trailer, people lost their mind when
Oh,
they were singing
I've got
about
it.
her. Do you?
Yeah.
Dude, people lost their mind.
Dude, I love. Whoops, do I need it in theater mode? I don't know how you have it scaled. But yeah, this Warbringers, and I'm gonna mute it a little bit just because the song is probably copyright, but anyway. Yeah, this cinematic, right, where she like goes into the boat of her dead. That's her like father's ghost or whatever. And then she's like having the flashbacks of her not helping her dad fight the Orcish horde in Kul Tiras, and thus her dad and all her people and soldiers die because of that. Like right there. Yeah. So good. I mean, I agree, Jaina. If we were doing tier list of characters, she's S tier. Even as a horde player, I can respect the hell out of Jaina and her story. And her story is the Coltiran story, essentially. Yeah, she raises the ship. She's a little OP. I think they made her a little bit too strong.
Yeah, dude, her force pull is so freaking strong.
Well, she like floated in the battle for battle for Lordaeron or for the Undercity. She's like using her power to float the ship and then turns it and like shoots massive like arcane missiles, and it's just like, okay, like I know she's strong, but that was like medieval level power, and it's like I don't know if she's actually that strong. Like
Right,
maybe
right.
chill out a little bit on power level, right? So she's just a little bit strong, but anyway, as far as the Cold Tyrans go, I really like them, but yeah, because of their models, it's kind of like the pandas. Like I see the big male, and it looks goofy in a way.
Both the male and female look goofy. They just
Yeah,
don't look natural.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset that you have like a bigger, beefier person, right, to represent like a more chubbier person
I
in
do
life,
like them more than humans,
but
though.
they don't look
I'm
real.
just gonna throw it out there.
Well, yeah, because they're more interesting.
So
They
I'm
have a
thinking
pirate
chilling,
player.
maybe.
Yeah, they're chilling. They're chilling. What bothers me though is like they have skinny Coltirans in the world, but you have to play as the bulky ones. And it's
Yeah.
like, why? Like, why can't I just choose which one I wanted? You know, I don't know.
What is this, like Kazakhstan or
Those are
whatever?
mecha gnomes, and I'm not gonna
Mechanomes, that's
lie.
right. That's
I'm not
right.
gonna lie. I don't like gnomes, but mecha gnomes add a little bit of flair. That's a little bit more fun. I actually just replayed with a buddy of mine. We were leveling up characters, and we wanted to just chill and quest and experience the Alliance side of BFA, the entire storyline, which we had both never done before. And so to do so, I made a new character, and I actually made a mecha gnome named Father Gnome. And I got a little passion for Father Gnome. He was funny. He was ridiculous because he's still a gnome, but his arms, his shoulders, like his legs, they're all mechanical, and that made it a little bit more interesting. All the mounts
Okay.
I rode were mechanical mounts, right? I was an engineer, and so it gave me the cool side of gnomes that
Yeah.
I liked without like the stupid side of gnomes that
Give
I
you
don't
like the
like.
tinkerer side.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit more goblin-y in a way.
Right.
But they are still gnomes. They're just better than the other gnomes. I would give them chillin'.
Both of them.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'm down to drop them there.
yeah, they're all right because
I think they're pretty
they're
cool.
cyborgs. Yeah, they're cyborgs. So they're
All right.
interesting.
Before we get to dragons, we got one more
Yeah, those are the Maghar orcs. They are the orcs
from Draenor, right?
for Draenor from prehistoric, like right,
Yeah.
it's like time travel and warlords. So
Yeah, back in the day.
they're the orcs before they got corrupted by the Fell,
Well, it's
essentially.
before they went through the portal, right?
Yeah, before the Dark Portal and drinking the blood of Manaroth and
Mm-hmm.
turning green and all that. Yeah. So they're in a way true orcs.
Also, why is she so
Um,
cross-eyed?
I, I don't know. Sounds like a personal problem for her.
Jesus. Uh,
Yeah, they're fine.
I think they're cool. I think they're a lot cooler than normal orcs.
Yeah, I have a male Maghar orc monk, and he's actually pretty badass. I like the way he looks in gear and stuff like that. So I like them, but they are still kind of just orcs. And so everything we said about orcs earlier, that they're kind of just the horde equivalent to um to humans.
They are, but I feel like the green orcs are a little more not bloodthirsty, but compared to like these
Yes,
orcs, they were a little. These ones felt a little more like a Tauren, not like full on, but just like you have your villages, you know.
sure. To be
Eh,
fair though,
and-
there are the green orcs from or they weren't even green, but a lot of the Maghars are from Nagrand. So there is a whole side of orc culture that is peaceful and spiritual
hmm,
and not bloodlusty. It's just that it's portrayed bloodlusty a lot more than spiritual.
right. Well, where do you want to
Um,
put them? I was thinking one tier up on each one. Like drop the males in chillin and the females in D.
sure, that works for me.
Gotta make sure the troll or the freaking whatchamacallits
The
are
female
last.
gnomes at the end, yeah.
Yep. Gotta
Good
keep the
call.
gnomes at the end on both of them.
Good call.
All right. We got dragons, man.
Yeah, let's do Evoker, which is the second one. Let's do them first before we
Okay.
talk about all the 5 colors of dragons, which is an interesting thing to put on this tier list, but it's here, so we'll talk about them. Evokers. Do you have an opinion on Evokers? I don't remember. Did you play Dragonflight?
I played some, and honestly, the dragon, like, I know everybody was loving it. It kind of bored me, and I wasn't interested in it. So
It was
I left the expansion very early.
yeah,
I did
was
like
a
some of the
subtle
extra.
story.
Yeah, I like some of the other races that they introduced and stuff. Just in like the different zones, that was really cool, but I didn't like the dragon part.
Yeah, here's my take on evokers. I love everything about evokers, their story, their background of being like a Nefarian's army. And then he got corrupted, and so he's like, I don't need them anymore, and he sealed all of them off. And then they finally reawoken, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? When the Dragon Isles got revealed. Um, but I gotta mention it, man. The evoker model looks stupid. I think everybody hates it. It's lanky, it's skinny. When you hear playable dragons, you're like, dude, I'm gonna be this beefy ass, scaly lizard with wings that I can breathe fire or whatever. And then you get like a goofy Looney Tunes dragon. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah,
brings their tier list way down, or the tier on this list way down. That said, I really, really enjoy playing Evoker. Again, I'm a big dragon fan, a big lizard
right. Yeah, yeah.
reptile fan. So I just hate the way they look, but everything else about them is actually really cool. And it's this my once I finish Nandi, my hunter, playing in War Within, my first alt is going to be my Evoker. So I do really like the class, uh, which is it's like the same thing, right? Evoker is the class at this point.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Probably chillin'. I don't know if I can give them above chillin' just because of that model.
I'm
They're
down. I'm
just
down to drop them there. They're nothing special.
yeah, they're chill. You know, it's like
Yeah,
whatever. At this point, it's like yeah, dragons, whatever. But a lot of people don't, including me, don't like their model.
I can see
But their
that.
backstory's sick.
Well, what
Backstory's
about the
really.
colors, man?
So the colors, I guess I'll rattle through them really quick.
Okay.
Red is all about life. Black is all about earth. Blue is all about arcane and order. Bronze is all about time-wimey stuff. They protect the timeline. And green is about nature and the Emerald Dream. Um, their storylines are all pretty cool. The blue ones got pretty much decimated by the black ones when the black ones went corrupt with Nelfarion. So the blues is like a
Uh,
tragic story. The black is also tragic, but they were the antagonizers. Um, so there's like not many blues left, and there's not many blacks left either. But the
and
blacks
those are
are
the two coolest
recovering.
ones too, in my opinion.
I think those have the most interesting story.
Yes.
Um,
I don't
followed
like
by
the bronze. I don't like the
I was
time
gonna say
crap.
followed by the bronze, but the
Oh.
timey wimey shit, it's frustrating in any
Mhm.
video game. If I could make a rule for any universe, it'd be no time travel. I think time travel it can be done well. Take take the Avenger movies for example. I think they actually did a pretty good job, all things considered. But it's really easy just to like make people confused. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I can see
Like
that.
Warlords of Draenor did need to happen. It was just kind of like okay, like it's the Maghar orcs are living at the same time, but their timelines in the past, but they can go back and forth. It's it's weird. And the bronze is all about that. So yeah, and then red is like supposed to be like the main ones, the leaders, and then green is just like druid. That's all I think when I see green. It's just druid
Yeah,
stuff.
100%. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I think red is probably the most boring. I think it should be rated the lowest, followed by bronze, personally. I think green is still cooler than bronze, but that's just me.
I'd probably put red, bronze, and green at the same. If
Okay,
I'm
well,
honest.
what are you thinking? Like, you really like the dragons. I didn't like them. I kind of want to stick them all, like those three in D. But,
I'd be okay with D because overall their story isn't like as exciting as some of the other ones. But then let's put blue and B, and if I'm honest, the black storyline's really good.
yeah, black is
They have
cool.
Sibelian and Rathian, as well as all the history with Nefarian and Emberhorn and stuff like that. I don't think they're S, but A. I'm happy with A.
No,
Yeah, and I have all my tokens, which I don't think
no,
we've
you
ever gotten
don't.
to the end of the. Oh,
You
you're
used
right.
her up.
I used my up. You're right
You moved your
on
boy up.
on my boy Doc Spear. Okay, so I need to. How much
So,
do you have left?
so I only have my rank realm token left. You have your rank down and your rank realm. So start with your rank
Okay.
down. I'll do my rank. Then I'll do my rank realm. Then you do your rank realm. So
I'm
what do you want to
I'm
bring down?
I'm debating if I want to bring down the void elf or the gnomes.
I know what I'm using mine on,
You do.
and you might
Okay.
counter it.
Um Dude, just because I shit on them always. Get that male gnome in F tier. Bring him down. Squish him under my foot.
All right. There goes your bronze. All right. It's time for my rank realm. Easy.
What's he doing? Sure.
He sucks.
Sure.
I don't care about your damn Ratchet and Clank.
You knew you were doing that from the start, didn't you? That's why
Yep.
you didn't care when you put it in D.
Yep, didn't really care.
Yeah, didn't care at all. All right, now I have one final thing to put something somewhere. I'm thinking maybe Tauren, maybe Undead could go S because I really like them. I think that Maghar, Male, Chillin, and C could also be B. What do I want to do? Evoker also could be higher because of its story, but that's kind of just the Black Dragonflight story.
Right.
I could move Blood Elves down because I despise them. You know what? Just for the fact that one of my favorite characters is Cairn Bloodhoof, and I think they did him wrong just like they did Vol'jin wrong. I ain't gonna do him wrong. Let's move male Taurens up to S. Chilling right next to my boy Vol'jin. Ah, that's fine. Yeah, female undeads are awesome. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
That is your final token.
Yeah.
You
Look
know
at
what's
that.
really
We got
interesting?
pretty heavy on the top.
Yeah, well, what's really interesting is I look at it, and other than the dwarf, like I feel like it's really heavy horde at the top half.
Yeah, but
you can see our biases for sure.
We are biased, but I'm biased. My biasism is because I've dived so heavy into the lore, man. I know the lore of all these characters, more or less, right? I'm not like the best lore, but I know a lot more than a lot of people, and I think a lot of the lore of the Alliance races is not as interesting as the lore of the Horde races. You know, there's exceptions with like, you know, I think dwarves are cool, right? And you know, we think Worgen are kind of neat, but like, yeah, I don't know, they just don't hold up to the vibe, if you will, of all the other races.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we did pretty well in all reality.
Yeah.
You know, we left a gnome at the bottom. We have some sick
crushed under our hooves.
we have some sick ones up top. Interestingly enough, I'm looking, the pandas and those frickin' foxes, whatever the hell they're called.
Volparen.
Yeah, Volparen are the only two that are in the bottom together. And then up top we have the goblins and the Zandalari trolls are the only two that are S tier together.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. Anyway,
all right, well, I have one thing to show as we do the outro. Everybody, thanks for watching. Comment, like, all that stuff. Next week will be a tier list about Mario characters, which should be pretty fun. If you guys are a big fan of video games, we're going to continue the video games trends.
I think that's in a few weeks, but yeah.
Yeah. But any last thing? Because I got something to show people as we go out.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Loktar Ogar for the Horde. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.
See ya.